Okay, everybody. So I just wanted to come out here and talk about a few things, a couple things that was on my mind. Just venting, simply venting my life as well as how others vent their life. It's something we need to do a lot of the times. But what I first want to talk about, I want to talk about drug addiction. Drug addiction. Drug addiction is like this for me. If I'm in an environment, where people are getting high and people are doing drugs and people are involved with certain things, it's going to make me do that also because I'm around it. You see, this is something that I just know that I know is you don't want to do it, then don't be around it. Knock knock, who's there? Drug addict who? Well, don't be around a drug addict like me, or you're gonna be a drug addict too. It's that plain and simple. And what does someone like me do when I get an urge to want to get high? Well, here's the thing. That is the hard part, because I know that I have a choice that I can make, and I can say, I'm gonna go do this and I'm gonna make it happen. I'm going to get the money together. I'm going to go do what I have to do to get the stuff. And see, in that predicament, what I think is needed is I need to be around, I need to have someone or something that I can either reach out to or call or say, look, I'm really, I want to do something. I want to do this. I want to get high. I want to put something in my body because of this, or I'm just bored, or whatever it is. It can be for one of a million different reasons. And this is why our environment is key. My environment is key. Like, if I'm around it, there's some days where I have it in me to say, no, I'm not doing this today. I'm not doing this right now. But that's very, very seldomly that happens, because anybody that is a drug addict, anybody that has ever done drugs, if you're feeling sick from them, you don't really have any other choice. You still do. You could still say, oh, no, I'm not doing this to myself. I'm sick and tired. I don't want to go through this. I'm going to get help. I got to get away from it. Whatever needs to be done. But if I am in the vicinity of these things and I'm feeling bad, more than likely I will do something. When you're physically sick, it's very hard to say, oh, no, I'm not going to do something that can make me feel better or whatever. And that is a part of it. That is the stronghold physically. That's the physical stronghold, you see. That's the fleshly physical stronghold. Now, there is the mental stronghold and the spiritual stronghold. Now, whether people want to put mental as spiritual or spiritual as mental, I don't care what people do. It's to explain what I'm talking about. And I know I have been on this talk lately, talking about the compassion and mercy and the sacrifice and all of those things, what Jesus' name and Jesus Christ brings to the table. And I've been talking about God and the Creator, and because that's what I was led to do at that time. Now, there's a time for everything. There's a time that I also have to talk about earthly things. I have to talk about things that are going on in my life and things around me and things, those kinds of things. It's the paradox going on. I'm not one or the other. I'm both of these things, and I keep an eye on both of those things. And I know that, I'm not some goody two-shoes. I'm not some holier than thou person with anybody. I'm no better and I'm no worse than any other human being. I think, I believe, and I know that we are all differently the same. We are all the same, but we're different. Paradox. That's the paradox going on. That's the paradox of music. That's the paradox of drugs. Drugs can be used for a good thing when someone is in severe pain to help them through it. But then you can become an addict also. You can say, oh, well, that felt good. I'm just going to keep doing that and doing that and doing that and doing that. Then you develop a habit. And then when you don't have it, you go absolutely insane and you're sick. And you're like, I need a hit. That's what happens to people. But, I know how some of this stuff can kind of maybe scare people off. But look, I'm a human being just like the rest of anybody who comes across this video. I'm a human being just like you. I walk, I talk, I breathe, I speak about things, I do the best I can for myself, but then sometimes I destroy myself. And I know both of these things very well. It's almost like my soul partner, this paradox and this thing going on with God and Satan and Jesus and the devil and up and down and left and right and good and bad and right and wrong. It can't leave my life because it's so entangled in the web of what makes this thing what it is, this flesh, blood, and bone you see. It isn't even that I am an I'm a part of everything, and we're all a part of everything, and we're all included here. Listen. There is something in me that wants to say and feels like I'm being led to say. Sometimes I do say in my mind, maybe this is all for nothing, but then there's a part of me that says there's got to be a reason behind all this stuff. Whether how good or how bad, there's got to be some kind of reason. I can't tell myself that I'm just here to live and die and be buried in under the ground or whatever happens, and then that's it, and it's done, and people come and go, and then it's just, that's life. That is a horrible way to live, and I tried to live that way, and I just can't. But see, the things that I'm speaking about, these things are not lies. All this stuff that I'm testifying about, this is real. This is real stuff, and I know that it's real stuff. I know without a doubt in my mind, it's not even 100%. It's eternal. It's an eternal sense of me knowing and saying yes, and I'm not being prideful. It doesn't have anything to do with me boasting or saying that I'm better or worse than anybody, because I am a human being. We all fall, we all rise. We all fall, we all rise. And eventually, one day in this earthly realm, unless the Creator decides to come back and say, okay, we're starting a new thing here. See, it's very hard to explain this. This is where I think there's something going on in the world where we are being prepared for something that we don't understand. We can't put our finger on it. And there's a lot of us that are trying to say that we have the answers and we know, but we don't. We don't know, and I don't know. I don't know. But I know what has happened in this fleshly, blood, bone, water body to me as a person. And I have seen, like I said before, I have been having visions my whole life of both good, what's the word I want to use? Good, glorious, grandeurizing things. And then I have seen horrible and bad, and I have witnessed, and I have been through, and I have felt, and I have known these things myself. And I'm not here to judge people anymore. I'm not here to say, why are you wearing what you're wearing, or why are you doing what you're doing, or why do you speak like you speak, or why do you act that way, or that's not for me to do anymore. You know, I am not here to judge the color of a man's or woman's skin. I'm not here to judge that. I listen to the true character and soul of a person if they want to let that be known. But a lot of people are not going to show you their soul. They're going to show you the fleshly facade, the outside facade. And I don't want to see that anymore. I'm not interested in the fleshly facade. I know that we're still flesh, and I know that we still can desire things, and we can crave things, and we can want things. That I will say not all of that will ever go away unless someone is delivered from that, but I can't speak for anybody else. I don't know if that has happened to a person. Only they know those things. And I'm not here to judge again. I can't judge another man or woman. I can't do it. Even when I do it, I know that all I'm doing is I'm assuming that they're doing what they're doing because that's what they're doing. I'm trying to say, oh, well, you're doing this because you did that before. You act like that because this thing happened. See, I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing about another person unless that person wants to tell someone like me something. Then they have a right to do that. It's their decision. But see, most people, they're not going to pour out the secretive things that are hidden in them. They're not going to pour out everything that makes them what they are in this realm. And you can't force anybody to do it. You know, I feel like I have exposed a lot of my life. I feel like I have exposed a lot of my flesh and a lot of my soul, and I have exposed a lot of my drug addiction and how I am, my sexual things, how I think, how I see stuff. Like, I feel like I have exposed that. And listen, this was a choice that I made. Nothing made me do it. Nothing pointed a gun to my head and said, Nate, you have to do this. But there was something in me as an individual that said, I have to do this for my own sake. I got to do it because I have to do it for me to kind of, what is the word that I'm looking for? To kind of, like, what is a word you use? Chastise myself. You know, like kind of be a glutton for punishment because I felt like I deserved some punishment for some things that I did. And see, punishment is not always a bad thing. Discipline is not a bad thing. Conviction's not a bad thing. Like when someone is trying to hold you accountable and responsible, that's not a bad thing. That is what we are supposed to do towards each other and for each other because it shows us something about ourselves, you know? And listen, I don't like these words like preacher or Christian or you're this or that. I don't like labels. And I will say this again. I don't like being labeled because I am that I am, because all of this, the Creator, whatever is putting this in action, whatever all this is allowing me to do so. You see, like I said before, I do not take any credit for any music I make. I do not take any credit for anything I write, any art I draw, any videos I make. If people want to say thank you, you're not really thanking me. You're thanking the source that is doing that thing. It's really not me. That's what I believe. That's what I believe as a person. And if someone disagrees, listen, I'm not here to judge that anymore. Not here to do that anymore. Because what measure I judge, that's going to be measured back to me. And I don't want people judging me. So why am I going to judge them? I don't care if somebody, whatever they do is what they're doing. They made the decision and choice to do that. And I'm not here to do that. I'm not one of these types of people just because I'm proclaiming something. And this isn't me trying to prove anything to the world or man or women anymore. I'm not trying to prove anything to anybody. I have nothing to prove. I have nothing to prove anymore. Nothing. I am that I am because I'm allowed to be that thing for some reason. That is it. Finito, for infinity. See, it's very hard to explain this. I think that a part of you, like your, man, how can I say this? See, sometimes I don't even have the words to explain what I really mean when I'm speaking something. Like, I think you first have to experience things that you really don't want to, and things that you're very confused by, or you're like, what is going on? Why am I feeling this way? Like, why did this happen to me as a person? And because the things I've experienced, I mean, I would literally talk to you probably for the rest of my life if I explained to you my whole life story. I have experienced some great, glorious things, and I have experienced horrible, wicked, nasty, evil things. I know both domains. I know the domain of heaven, and I know the domain of hell. I know them both. You might not see it on me. I might not look like it. You might not see the fear in my eyes, and you might not see the joy that is also a part of some of me. But I can't say that I have been too joyful lately. I can't use that word for myself because I'd be lying to you. It's a sense of the eternalness in me that is very hard to describe. I don't want to say I'm a joyful person. That's for someone else to be joyful. That's not a word that I can really use for myself. I would say I see glory in some, if not all things. I see glory even in bad things, as bad as it is to say that. Oh, man, it's like, and what I want to say before I end this video, whenever I do end the video, because usually there's sometimes, yes, I do go on and on and on and I speak, and maybe that's needed, maybe it isn't, I don't know. But see, I lost train of thought of where I was going because I started trying to explain myself again. See, I make that mistake sometimes of doing that. But hey, that's another thing. Failure is not a bad thing. Failure is actually a good thing. And that's a part of the paradox too, because when you fail, you learn. And through the learning experience of this all, this is where we gain understanding, is through experiences, and is through learning, and is through going through good and bad, glory and suffering, and all these other things that we go through. And that is the paradox that we are in. And why, the question why doesn't do anything for us. The question why is almost it's almost a word that does really nothing for any of us. Asking why. Why is this like this? Why is this happening? Why is it raining out right now? Why am I under an umbrella getting wet walking? Why this? Why that? Why did, I become a drug addict? Why did I have these experiences that I had? Why? See, there is a time for action and there is a time to do nothing. That's what Ecclesiastes teaches us, is that there's a time for suffering and there's a time for glorious things. There's a time for every opposition word you can think of. There's a time for it. But it doesn't mean, see, here's the thing. It doesn't mean that just because we're going through something that we have to necessarily stay there. You see, we have a choice to move or not move. We have a choice to react or not react. And this is why we all have a free will. I don't go for this, there's no free will junk. We have a free will. There's a free will that's going on, and we all have a decision and a choice to make in our lives. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to get all specific, but yeah, it's like, see, the reason why I'm talking about my drug addiction, and the reason that I'm talking about a lot of these things that I haven't been talking about is because this is what I feel like I'm being led to do right now. If I'm being honest, I feel like I've come to the end of a chapter of my life, and there is something new coming. It's a time for newness. It's a time for a renewing of the mind. It's a time for us to, well, no, I don't want to say, yes, we renew our mind, but through renewing our mind and understanding our mind and understanding all the old things and all the good and the bad and just everything that happened. See, when the ego is destroyed, that's when the spirit lives. That's when the spirit comes into play. That's when you stop looking at the color of someone's skin. That's when you stop judging someone just by how they talk, or judging these little things that don't mean anything. It just causes trouble and drama, and it just hurts each other when we do that. And when you're in the soul, you don't do that anymore. Your flesh is still there bringing up old, stupid, irrelevant stuff that doesn't mean anything. But the soul is something that, and I hear so many people out here, I hear so many of us, we're literally spewing our guts out and we're saying how we really feel. But not a lot of us are, even me, not a lot of us are taking the action in our lives to make our lives what we really want it to be, or we're not going to the people that we really want to be around, or we're not really making anything happen. And I'm not saying that that's the answer either. I don't have an answer. I don't have an answer. I am that I am. That's it. I am a flesh, blood, and bone and water person with nutrients and bone gristle and a voice box and a heart that's still beating. I don't control any of that. I'm completely powerless over whatever happens to me. I am powerless. But yet I have the ability to take authority in my life. I have that ability. We all do. If you are tired of the way that you're living, you can say, I don't want to live like this anymore. I'm done. If you're tired of doing drugs, you can say, I don't want to do these drugs. I got to go. If you want to become the best artist for other people and you want to show that talent, do it. Nothing's stopping you. You're just judging yourself. Quit judging yourself and others and just take the action. Nothing's ever going to happen if we don't do those kinds of things. But then, like I said, sometimes we just have to sit still and say, look, this is not the time to do certain things. See, this is where discernment comes into play. The word discernment is a very key word. It's a very key word. And see, with discernment, you start wanting to serve others in servitude. And this is the way of my servitude, is coming out here and walking and recording, making a video, speaking to others, because that's the way that I'm serving someone else, because I want to give them a word today. But it's not me giving the word. The word is coming from something besides me, Nate, this guy. I mean, I'm just being honest. Like, where is all this coming from? How do I even have the ability to even speak or say these things? Yeah, I learned them, but still, there's something that's keeping it going. And I understand too. I completely understand those who say, I kind of wish none of this ever started. I wanted to stay in that place of non-existence and to stay in that not that voidness and whatever. And that's just basically you saying you want to be somewhere where you can just be. You see what I'm saying? Even though people might not want to exist or do these things, I truly believe that's because our lives, we are not where we're supposed to be, man. We have not found our tribe. We have not found our soulmates yet. And that's, listen, everything in me is saying, I'm looking for soulmates in this life somehow, some way. Like, I'm looking for those who think the same way, but it's not about proving anything to each other. It is about being in the presence of where we really belong, but we already know that there's gonna be problems and there's gonna be good things too. There's gonna be times where we're like, I don't wanna do this, but I gotta do it. There's gonna be times where it's like, look, I'm in a bad mood, but I don't mean to be in a bad mood, but I'm just in a bad mood for some reason. So look, just kind of let me go do what I got to do to clear my mind. Okay, go do what you got to do. And when you're ready to come back, come back. You know, it has nothing to do with forcing. It has nothing to do with judging or saying you need to do this or you don't need to do that. But see, we all have to be willing to take responsibility and accountability. We all have to be able to say to ourselves, am I willing to be corrected? Am I willing to be offended by stupid things I might be doing? See, it's not out of hate or it's not out of some thing to hurt people. It's because that person cares. That person actually loves the person and they don't want to see them get hurt. They don't want to see bad things happen to them. They don't want to see them stay in a fallen pit. You know, you might fall, and I can't stop everybody from falling because I can't help everybody. But what is the littlest that I can do today? That's it. What is the littlest that I can do? The very least that I can do for somebody else. Because I think that is the thing in this world that's missing the most is servitude. Is focusing on serving each other. Do you know how great it is when someone actually cares for you? And someone comes and says, hey, I wanted to help you. I wanted to give you something. I wanted to come and I wanted to take you here because I love you that much. Do you know how good that feels when somebody does that? And that's what we're all looking for. We're all looking to be loved. I'm looking to be loved. We're all looking for love. Am I wrong? And I'm not talking about Valentine's Day love. I'm not talking about some wishy-washy, I don't know. I'm not talking about that kind of love. I'm talking about something eternal that cannot break. Even when it breaks, it can't fully break. I'm talking about something that is, I can't even describe in words. I just can't. It's looking to, even when things are not going how we really want them to go, it's still sharing in something that even when we know, it's like, okay, well, I'm not really feeling this today. I'm not really with it today. I just don't want to do this. I don't want to talk with anybody. I don't want to be around anybody. And listen, there's even times I go through this. I want to be left alone. I want to be by myself. I want to clear my mind. I'm like, look, just leave me alone right now. It doesn't mean I hate you. It doesn't mean I don't want to do whatever. It doesn't mean that. It's just that's how we are as people. We need time to ourselves, and there's times where we need to be by ourselves because you cannot reflect without being by yourself. If there's too many people around, you're going to be being influenced by those people all the time. And this is why everybody that's alone, everybody that's by themselves, there's a reason why you're by yourself. There's a reason why we're by ourselves. That's what I think. I can't speak for anybody though, because I don't know. I don't know. Now I'm saying that, but see what I'm doing is I'm proclaiming this because I know what people are doing and going through because I'm a human being. And I know if I wasn't by myself for all them years, I wouldn't understand things. I wouldn't understand what I understand if I wasn't by myself. Because I would have been being influenced by too many other people. I would have been being influenced by people that are trying to be something for others and all that stuff. Because that's how we are when we're in groups of people. We don't really understand ourselves and what we're doing and what we're contributing. And listen, I even get lonely. You know, sometimes I would really like to be around some woman that cares for me and wants to be around me and wants to love me and wants to cook for me, wants to give me a massage, that wants to just sit there with me for a little. Yes, I love that kind of stuff. And then we act like we don't like this. It's unbelievable. It's just unbelievable. And see, this is what I'm saying. This is why I heard this from a lot of people. It said 2024 is going to be the year of truth. And hidden things are going to come up. Hidden things are going to come out. People are going to start exposing their lives more because they're tired of how they're living. They're tired of staying in this lifestyle or this place they're in, but that needed to happen to understand this. You see what I'm saying? And when I do these videos, listen, this is kind of like my own faith in a way. I'm just simply speaking. I'm letting my thoughts be known. I'm giving my soul, you know, as an individual. That's what I'm doing. I'm bearing my soul to people because I don't believe there is any other way to do things honestly and courageously and with honor. This should be a badge of honor that we wear in our lives. Let it be a badge of honor, not a badge of pride. It has nothing to do with pride. It has to do with honoring yourself and others while we're here. Honor, you know? If you see someone that's hungry, feed them. If you see someone that's thirsty, give them drink. You don't have to say, hey, I love you and I'm here for you. I'll do anything for you. No, just show through your action what you mean. See, you know how, say you have somebody that been feeding someone their whole lives and they never said, I love you or I care for you. No, they're showing you that they love and care for you. They're feeding you. They're giving you something to eat. They're buying you clothes. They're giving you a place to stay. That is showing someone love. That is showing someone that you care for them. But we don't even see that sometimes. And listen, I'm not going to lie. The place that I'm at right now, I don't know why. Well, I do know why. But I really don't want to be where I'm at right now. I really don't. I don't want to be here. Because I just... something's calling me away from here. I don't know what it is. I can't explain it, but I just don't want to be here. I don't feel like I need to be here, but do I need to be here? See, that's another question. See, do I need to be here? I don't know, but I really don't want to because I want to go do something with my life that where I belong, but at the same time, I know everything is not going to go according exactly to plan. I already know that. I already know that that's going to come. So when it comes, I'm not going to be surprised. I'm not going to be surprised. And like I said, I am just a man. I am just flesh, blood, bone, nutrients, What are these things called? Elements. That's what I am. Yes, I'm a man because of the private parts that I have, and the beard that I have, and the voice that I have. Yes, I am that, but that doesn't describe me as an individual or whatever, because there's no really any labels that can be used. They're just things to describe stuff to make us understand stuff, you know? And I just am. I am that I am. And whatever people want to say I am, that's fine. You know, I'm not judging people anymore. I don't care what color you are. I don't care really where you're from. I don't care if you can lift 500 pounds. I mean, okay, if you can bench press 400 and you're strong and you'll use that to defend yourself or to help someone else if it's needed, okay, you know, good for that person. But I don't, a lot of these things just don't matter to me anymore. I'm looking at the character of people. I'm looking at, are you able to be honest with me? Are you able to tell me something real? Are you able to say, look, this is what's really going on with me? You know, are you able to just be real? Are you able to be real? Whether it's good or bad, are you able to be real? Are you able to bare your soul? That's what I'm looking for. But I'm not saying that I have answers. You see, this is to each their own. I'm not saying that I have answers for anybody. I'm not even saying I can help people. I'm not even saying I can do anything. I just think that it's a form of servitude when you are real, when you do tell people the truth, when you do expose yourself, when you do say this is what's going on with me. When if you are a drug addict, you say, look, I'm going through this and it's happening. And you're just saying that, and it is what it is. That's what I think servitude is. And I think that is the ultimate form of both love and the side of you that hates certain things that you know maybe shouldn't be. You see what I'm saying? It's the paradox there yet again going on. And with understanding, we don't have to make a very quick decision or choice with understanding. We can reflect. We can take a time out and say, should I or shouldn't I? Is this what I think or is it not what I think? Like with discernment and understanding, that's when I believe that we can make the choice that would be the best choice for all of us as one. You see what I mean? So yeah, I just wanted to speak my mind a little bit here. And I don't know. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what's going to happen. I have not a clue where all of this is heading or where I'm going to be. I want to be, if I'm being honest though, I want to be on my own. I want to get an apartment and stuff because I like living. I like having my own thing if I'm being honest. I like owning my own place. I like creating in my own place. I like sleeping and living, and I don't know, that's just how I am because that's how I was living for 7 years and I got used to that. And you know, as bad as I want to be there for my mom and my brother and whoever because I care, I just can't do everything. I can't, you know, I gotta do what I have to do too, you know, because that's life. And I know it hurts sometimes, but sometimes you just gotta do some things that hurt and what you don't want to do sometimes. And just, if you can be around when you can, be around when you can. If you can't be around, you can't be around. It's like, don't be too hard on ourselves. You know, do what you can do when you can and move on and just say, look, this is what's happening. And look, I know some days I'm not even like that. Like some days I am moody. Listen, I can be a moody SOB. I can be very moody and I can be very like, look, just leave me alone right now. I don't want to be messed with. I'm not in a mood. I'm a double-edged sword, folks. I am a double-edged paradox. But I would like to be in the middle ground looking at both sides of the field. That's what I would like to do. That's why I have the symbol of half black, half white, because I understand the paradox going on. And when you're in the middle, it's kind of, you're saying I'm staying neutral, but at the same time, if I have to go this way a little bit, or I got to go this way a little bit, I might not want to, but I might need to, you see? It's always the conundrum going on there. And I don't have any of this figured out. I'm just going by discernment. I'm going by understanding. I'm going by experiences. I'm going by everything in the heavens and earth that I know. And it's just, I'm just letting it be known. That's all. I don't know what it's going to do. I don't know what it's going to do. And I think a lot of the times, the best answer is, I don't know, but I wish you well. I don't know. I hope you have peace in the chaos. I don't know. I want for you what I want for myself, but I know it ain't always probably going to go like that. You know, I don't know. I don't know, but I do know a lot of things though. You see, when I say I don't know, it's because I don't have the answers for everything, and I can't judge people and stuff, but at the same time, I know a lot of stuff. You know, I am not stupid, but in some areas, I still am stupid. I don't know how to do everything. You know, as bad as I wish I knew how to build a home and plant food and do all the things I've been talking about, I still don't know how to do everything. But this is what I want all of us to do while we're here. I want us all to find a craft. I want us all to have something that we can help share with someone else, that we can serve with. That's what I want. That's all my soul craves for, is soulmates, is people that want to do the same things, and even people that don't want to do it or disagree. I still want the best for them too. Even in the hard times, even in the toughness. You know, that's what I said. I said, I really hope that we would all have a tough shell, a tough, strong shell, but with a soft, beating heart. That's what I wish. That's what I pray for. That's what I am proclaiming. That's what I'm saying right now. That's what is on my mind. Now, whatever that does, I gotta let it do whatever it does and say, okay, it's doing whatever it's gonna do. Move on. It's on to the next. Yonder nexta, yonder nexta, yonder nexta. So anyway, I'm gonna let the video go there. I believe and think I said what I had to say for today. So just for today, just for this second, just for this moment, that's all that I can do right now. I can maybe do a little bit more, but I'm not going to force myself to do any more than what I think I should right now. So that is what it is, folks. If any of you would like to help support this individual here, you can help donate to my PayPal. You can go to my writings. I haven't been on there lately, but I will be back to it. It's just, I'm really taking a look at and reflecting on my own soul right now. So I haven't been too busy with my music and other things, but I will get back to it because I don't really know anything else, if I'm being honest. I want to know other things, but I just don't right now. So if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I really hope that we all find our glory or our craft or something to say, this is okay with me. I'm content with this. That's what I wish for every single one of y'all out there. Every single one of you out there. I really do, man. I really do, woman. I really do. So with that, everybody be blessed, even in your curses. I love y'all, but I hate stupidity. I hate ignorance. I hate all those things. So with that, I am out. Let it rain when it's going to rain, and let it shine when it's going to shine. The paradox. Praise to my Creator, if I have a Creator, and thank Jesus for him showing his sacrifice of mercy, compassion, love. I know that it's brutal and it's ugly and it's bloody, but how else could it have been shown? I don't know. And I will even say to the ruler of this earth, thank you for chastising me and doing things to me and whatever to make me learn. You see, I'm not here to judge anymore. I'm just here to proclaim what I know is real and true, because that's all that matters. That's reality. That is the real. That is the real. This ain't a facade. This ain't a show. This is real stuff. But I like to express those things, but at the same time, those things are it's very strange, because at the same time, I'm very uncomfortable sometimes expressing them. So it isn't just one thing. See, this is why it can't be a label. It's everything. It's all things. And all things come from the source of oneness in and of itself. And that's where I'm looking for that eternal glory of some kind in me, and that's what I wish for every other person, that we all find that and have that. That's just what is being said right now. I don't know what's saying it. I don't know where it's coming from. Well, no, I don't. I don't know where it's coming from, because, see, if I would, I would be boasting and I'd be saying I know for sure. And see, that's right. When I do that, I lost the game, because I really don't know, but this is just what is this is the truth. This is what is being said. You know, this is what needs to be said in this moment. Nothing else. Nothing else. So with that, y'all, take care of yourselves. Treat yourselves kindly. Start thinking about, how can I help myself and others? How can I help others and myself today? And it could be the smallest, lowest thing. It could be the smallest, lowest thing. And it doesn't necessarily mean that good things are going to help people all the time. Maybe it's something bad that you really don't want to talk about, or you don't want to even let anybody know. Maybe that's what needs to happen. You see what I'm saying? That's the paradox going on. Maybe there needs to be the opposite of what you and I think it needs to be. You know, do we ever think about things like that? I don't know, though. I don't have the answers. I'm just speaking what I'm being led to speak. That's all. And I don't even say it's I. It's the source that is speaking. I don't give myself any credit. I don't give myself anything, even though I want to share in it. I don't give myself the credit for it. So with that, I'm going to keep taking my walk here and do whatever I got to do. It's another day. One day at a time, just for today, you know. What's next? I don't know. Until then, take care, y'all. Later.